All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to another phenomenal episode of Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast. This is your host, Brian, a.k.a. El Nino, and today I'm joined with...
Ryan Saber, Captain Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Indians, CLE till I die.
Oh, what's my name again? Oh, yeah, it's Courtney, a.k.a. the Conscious Cosplayer.
She's still here.
They haven't kicked me out
We haven't
yet.
scared her off
They're
yet.
still feeding me wine, so I'm here.
Love a running tab. And it's your boy, Jerry, a.k.a. Jadon, a.k.a. just another space cracker.
And I only bought that one round, so I don't know about this whole running. Do I need to phone in to Joe? Big shout out to Cafe Europa right next door. We're at Press Play Studios. We're still messing around with the Rodecaster Pro. So big shout out to our friends over at Rode for the Rodecaster Pro, Guitar Center for hooking it up with a fantastic deal. So we're going to be playing around with some buttons, all that fun stuff. The last episode was movie snacks and TV show snacks, so make sure you check that out if you haven't yet. Now, we are in the month of March, so we are getting into March Madness. Are we going to talk about sports? No. We're going to leave that to Saba on the...
Water cooler at WC Sports Pod. There's no fucking laugh. That's the clap track right there.
That's this track. WC Sports Pod. The more you know.
You sons of bitches.
You can't put buttons in front of me and not expect me to push all of them.
Yes.
As I was telling him earlier, I was like, when you first get into a car as a kid, you may not understand this, but we're all a little bit older. And there were not always automatic windows.
Yeah.
So there used to be like the levers. And then when you first get in.
I drove a car with crank windows.
Okay.
Thank you
all
very
right.
much.
So you know.
Yes.
Your first experience in a car that had like the automatic window switch. You were like, All right, March Madness. So we're not talking sports. We're talking about some of the craziest, most terrifying characters on TV and film. We're going to kick it off with Captain Cleveland.
So you say crazy as most terrifying. I think of crazy in a couple different ways. Obviously, like the crazy deranged, but I also think of like crazy, like the people that do like crazy shit.
I like it. I like it.
Like death-defying things. So
Yes.
I did some with movies. I did some with TV. I'll start with movies. My honorable mention. Is there a crazier person than Tony Stark? He has no fucking superpowers. Like, you could say Batman too, but Batman doesn't go against people with, like, superpowers. Like, he
builds stuff to
but
combat.
But Tony Stark goes up against, like, mutants and fucking people that have, like, superpowers, and all he wears is a suit.
Right.
So, my honorable mention is Tony Stark. I think he's a fucking maniac. My craziest...
He's one of us.
Yeah. Right. My craziest person in the movies, I mean, has to be Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise in the movies Mission Impossible. He literally does the impossible. Have you seen some of the stunts?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he literally does.
They would have to rename the movies if that wasn't the
Literally
case.
does the impossible once every 2 years.
Mission Impossible.
So, like, you go back and you watch all these Mission Impossible movies. Like, there's a stunt from, like, 3 movies ago where he swims through this fucking tunnel, and it's just, those movies are so edge of your seat. I love the Mission Impossible movies, so those are my crazy people from movies. From TV,
You know he's not going to die, but you think the whole time you think he might.
And he does
You know,
a lot of
it's
his,
very
like a
suspenseful.
majority of his own
yes,
stunts
he does.
too.
Yeah.
He's a
But
fucking
I'm not
maniac.
talking about Tom Cruise because he's crazy
Tom Cruise is a
in a
crazy human being.
whole other different kind of Scientology fucking way. We're just talking about the character of Ethan Hunt on TV. I have honorable mentions there. I mean, this is where we're getting a little more into the crazy deranged.
Sure.
The Game of Thrones main character, like bad guys of Joffrey Baratheon and Ramsay Bolton. I mean, those are just two of the most despicable
Fuck yeah.
people
of
of all
crazy.
time. There are no redeeming qualities between either of them. Like, there is no silver lining on the cloud with them. And my craziest character, and I talked about him in season 1 of our villains.
You're doing Jip Rossetti,
Is
aren't
Jip
you?
Rossetti.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Let me go back.
He is fantastic, though, man.
I gotta go
What
back.
is the name of the actor that plays him?
Bobby Cannavale.
Ah, so good. So good.
So let me go back to my notes from then. Jip Rossetti, Boardwalk Empire season 3 is played by Bobby Cannavale. He's a hot-headed, easily offended villain. He's introduced to that in that show beating a mechanic to death with a tire iron. He has
Love at first
he's
sight.
Ruthless, and he's got a lot of frightening sexual habits. I mean, he likes to
Don't
be
we all?
choked out. There's a scene that I remember.
Don't we all?
Yeah, well, no, I don't. I'm actually
I was
pretty.
a little too confident about that
I'm
one.
actually pretty tame, but hey, teach his own. But there's a scene in that season where he's in a fucking whorehouse,
Yeah.
and he's getting choked out, and like people come in to assassinate him, to kill him or whatever. And at the end, he obviously lives and kills everybody, and he's walking out, and the camera's behind him as he's walking out, and he's got blood all over his naked body. There's dead bodies all around him, and he still has the belt hanging off of his neck. Like, it is crazy. So Jip Rossetti is my pick for craziest TV character.
I think I have a new intro for you.
What is that?
Vanilla Guy Till I Die.
I don't know what that means. It sounded.
Tell me, man, we need a woo.
Yeah, I know. Yow! Yeet! We need the yeet button.
Yeah, we need a yeet.
Yikes.
So, Courtney, who are some of your craziest, most terrifying March Madness?
I am all over the place with this because
I love it.
crazy is such a broad term.
It is.
Like, it could mean wild, it could mean disturbing, it could be unsettling, and I just kind of chose a little bit of everything. And I actually had a lot of trouble kind of narrowing down my top 3 because it is such a broad, I guess. So I didn't go with just negative versions of crazy.
Right.
So I guess the first one I do have is negative. I chose the mom from the Babadook.
Okay.
Bless our gay idol. Love the Babadook. But just there's a couple scenes between the kid and the mom that are just so unsettling to me. They make me so, and I honestly love movies that aren't just jump scares.
Right.
If they make me
jump scare
physically
movies, man.
uncomfortable, I'm a glutton for punishment. I love horror movies that are suspenseful and just uncomfortable for various reasons.
Sure.
And so, the mom from the Babadook just makes me severely uncomfortable.
When you talk about that, the uncomfortability, I think of the opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, where Hans Landa's sitting there and they have the Jews underneath the house, and the whole time you're just physically almost nauseous.
Sitting
because,
there drinking a glass of
That's
milk.
what I think of.
Yeah. And you're just you can't stop watching.
Yeah.
And even though you're severely uncomfortable. My second one is more, I guess, crazy in a positive way. So more crazy eccentric and in a very creative way. I know this isn't technically TV movies, but Brian Wilson. In my family, dislike. I'm originally from California, and I have been here for a very long time. But California is very much in my blood.
Oh, yeah.
As I said earlier, I genetically am a little bougie in the Beach Boys. That's what I'm made up of, and I love the Beach Boys, classic Beach Boys. In my family, it is sacrilege to not like the Beach Boys. That's what I grew up with, and absolutely love it. Still jam it in my car with the windows down, but the times when Brian Wilson has had his own free reign to be creative, he has come out with the weirdest shit, and I love it. I'll sing about vegetables all damn day long. He just, and even as he's gotten older, he's just so just eccentric and creative, and I feel eccentric people have such a important place in our world as far as furthering us, and just I could talk about that all day. But yeah, Brian Wilson is he's a weirdo, and I love him.
You hang out with the Manson family, you're a fucking
Yeah. You hang out with the Manson family, and you've got that 6 degrees of separation. You're just arm's length enough to not go to prison.
Yeah.
But
Shit, I didn't
just
get
weird enough
You're
to be
dabbling.
cool.
You're dabbling there.
Yeah, you're you just
Putting your feet in a kiddie pool.
Yeah, Yeah, just enough to be cool and interesting, but not to be a murderer.
There you go.
No, don't look at me. I'm very creative.
And then my
I'm
third.
in the Beach Boys. We sing about love.
I'm a Beach Boy. It's fine. Life's a fine balance, guys, between murder and a
And love.
doo-wop.
Murder, love, and doo-wop. The Zero Dark Nerdy story.
My third and final one is very personal to me. I have been absolutely terrified of these characters since I was a child. And you can ask any one of my family members. They distinctly
Christ.
remember me losing my absolute mind watching this movie. And I actually watched it very recently as a 24-year-old. Yes, I'm a baby. I get it. Still watching like the super updated version. It's all pretty and in color, and I still hate those freaking flying monkeys. I watched The Wizard of Oz again a couple months ago as an adult, and I'm still terrified. They're almost more terrifying now that they're in HD. Like,
You can see that creepy face even
Yes,
more now.
they
You
are-
can see the shitty makeup.
like as much as I admire like classic costuming and special effects, like they will always have a place. You guys will come to know that I am a massive Star Wars nerd. I will never stop talking about Star Wars, and that's the perfect example of like how much classic special effects makeup has a permanent place in the film industry, and it's timeless. The flying monkeys should have never existed. Ever. They just, now that they're in HD, they are even more disturbing because they're very like 50s Halloween costume, like just severely unsettling, and just, I can't. That's it. That's about all I can say about it. I can't.
I love it. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that track. We're gonna ease
We're not
this.
laughing at you.
Yeah, we're not laughing.
We're laughing beside you.
Yeah.
We support you.
Again, we are messing around with the Rodecaster Pro. Exciting, Jerry's.
that one do?
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
I like
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
a good one. So it's really like this kind of pattern now. We're gonna upload.
Not the red one.
Yeah, not the red one. Don't push the button, which we will push eventually. So, Jerry, who are some of your March Madness crazies? Or
Well, when I heard I read your text and I was like, great, we're going to talk about basketball. But no, and then, I dug deeper into it. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So what I did was I went for the crazy, my type of crazy is the low-key, live my life and not let anybody in on the fact that you're insane
I
kind
love
of
it.
people. So my number, well, these are in no particular order.
I like it.
So nothing is the first one I'm going to talk about is Arthur Fleck from the Joker movie.
Nice.
That's the type of guy that is in the background. You don't see this guy, but he's dealing with a lot of shit, and it's easy to dismiss. Mentally,
Yeah.
it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, they slip through the cracks, and they should have the help they need. But we're going to be funny here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, we're good. And we'll have a
Life's a
whole other
balance.
podcast. Exactly. It is.
But no, low key, like no one knew he was insane until he was on TV and shot Robert De Niro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one is Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes. Really good one there. Hold on. I gotta give you that. That's good.
So you meet him, and you think he's this eccentric, person that's also a judge.
Right.
But then you find out he's a fucking Looney Tune,
Yeah.
actual cartoon person, and he kept raps on it very well,
Really
until
well.
the end.
Really
until
well.
he started cackling and he got run over
Yeah.
by a steam.
Did you look
shovel.
just
The cackle gives you up every time.
like
with the dagger's eyes?
Yeah.
God damn, it's
Yep.
fucking crazy.
And that was the same guy that played Doc Brown, right?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's Christopher Lloyd.
Yep.
So I got Arthur Fleck, I got Judge Doom, and I've got oh my god, I can't remember her name, but it's Kathleen Turner from Serial Mom. You ever
Oh,
seen the
good
Serial
one.
Mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the where she's calling her neighbor and saying Pussy Willow. I know it's her. And there's a whole big trial. Any John Waters movie is fucking awesome, but Kathleen Turner in Serial Mom she kept it together, and like everybody thought she was this cookie cutter, mom, and she was killing everybody throughout
Yeah.
the whole movie. And then numero uno. You know what? This is the number one. Patrick Bateman.
I knew it. I would have been surprised if you did not say his
American
name.
Psycho is one of my favorite movies. You don't know whether he's actually doing these things or not, or if it's all in his head, or if he is actually killing homeless people and hookers. And man, if you've never seen this movie, check it out. You might be disturbed afterward, but maybe he did it, maybe he didn't.
And it was Christian Bale.
Christian
Bale. And then I think right after that, he got signed down to be the villain in the Shaft movie with Samuel L. Jackson based on his performance on that.
Shit.
And he was, just as evil and conniving, but nothing compared to, of course, how he is in American Psycho, which is fantastic.
So yeah, that's what I got.
I like it. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Nope. Damn it. I keep hitting that. All right, there we go. All right, so for mine, I did like movie and TV. I'm not really going to go down like the whole spiel. So one of them, Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Nicholson just nails that role. I mean, whether Stephen King loves a movie or not doesn't really matter to me. I thought that Jack Torrance is terrifying, plain and simple. One of mine that I really enjoy, and I thought maybe you would have brought it up, was Kevin from Sin City, played by Elijah Wood.
Shit, that guy.
Real fucking
The one
terrifying.
that ate her hand
Yes,
off.
he was the cannibal. The cannibal that would.
Yes.
It's Elijah Wood, so think of The Hobbit, or not The Hobbit, fucking Lord of the Rings, but with the glasses on.
Negative Hobbit.
Nega Hobbit.
So creepy.
Real creepy, and I was like, damn.
Or he cut his head off or something, and he never said a word.
Yeah, like
he never
no
screamed. He
emotion,
smiled at
no
me.
nothing. It was
I'm thinking about that character right now, and he is fucking terrible.
real terrifying for literally like not really doing much, just showing no emotion while
And
he's
he like hopped
killing and eating
around,
people.
right? Like he like was on. Oh man, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, as Courtney's like, I gotta look up this movie.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
You know what assuming does.
Oh, it makes an ass out of me and me. And besides that, number 3, well, not, these weren't in no particular order as well. The Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's
Oh, yes.
Rejects. So R.I.P. Sid Haig. Sid Haig. I'm pretty sure I said it
Captain
right.
Spaulding.
Captain
Yes,
Spaulding.
there you go.
Bill Moseley and Sherry Moon Zombie make up the
Yes.
Firefly family from these movies. And I have not
Sherry.
seen Hell from 3 yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But they are a terrifying fucking family. So those are my movie ones. Honorable mention, though, Vic Vega, Reservoir Dogs. He is one of my favorite psychopaths. Anyone that can cut off a cop's ear off and dance around to Stuck in the Middle with You is absolutely fantastic in my mind.
That's what it was like. It was like, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Who is it Michael Madsen?
Yeah.
That plays
Michael
him?
Madsen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He
If he
just
didn't
does
do
a fantastic
what I
job.
told him not to do, he'd still be alive.
And what does he say to the cop? He's like, I get joy out of torturing cops. And
Yeah,
he's like, I've heard it all before. You don't need to waste your breath.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you pray and pray that it ends fast, but I can promise you that it's not. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker right there. So I'm going to mention that. Going into TV shows, I got a couple there. Primarily, most of them, and I'm glad you said Ramsey Bolton because he was definitely on my list. 2 of them are from The Walking Dead. I got to go with the Governor, played by David Morrissey. Just a fantastic ass job. Like I thought they did a better job with him in the TV show than the actual comics.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was just kind of like what you were saying, like undercover, low key. Like
Yep.
this motherfucker is like showing hints of being a psychopath, and then you see the fish tanks full of heads. And you're like, oh, you crazy.
Oh yeah.
This dude crazy. And then, one of my top ones, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan, just
yes.
plays that role to a fucking T. Again, I think it surpasses the comics. And I've never really tried to compare the two. I know they've gone a little bit off script, but I think a lot of their casting choices have been really good in the TV show, at least.
Yeah.
I just don't like that he can't curse as much as the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got
Some
some.
limits
He's
there.
got some good ones.
Yeah, he's good. Cartoon wise, I got to go Mark Hamill, Joker, Batman the animated
yes.
series. One of my favorite Jokers of all
sweet
time.
man.
And he just got cast to be in
He-Man.
He-Man
He's
as
He's
Skeletor.
Skeletor.
What?
Very excited about that.
How did I not hear about this?
You should see that cast. For
Yeah,
that show.
it's
So
got
everybody's
Lena.
in it.
What's her name? That was Cersei. She's in it. Lena Headey.
Yeah, she's in it.
And then I can't remember who else, but those were the main
Look it
two
up,
that
man.
they signed up. So very excited about that.
And Kevin Smith is in charge of it.
Yeah, even more
So,
excited.
so Jason Mewes is in it too.
What's the date today, guys? Is it?
March 1st.
Oh, it's not my birthday. Feels like my birthday.
When is your birthday?
May 8th, but it feels like today with everything you guys are talking about. I just, literally everything in that sentence, I was just like, oh my gosh, ah! I'm really excited about that.
I love it. Love it. My last two, Marlo
Marlo
from The
Holy
Wire.
shit.
That
That's a
dude is
low-key
like
crazy there.
undercover, and I mean that's one of your favorite shows, Saba. So
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
he's not like
Marlo's the one-
insane, but he's just like a boss.
yeah, I mean, it's just very cerebral. Everything,
cold and
everything,
calculated.
yeah,
Yes.
very cerebral.
Yes, cold and calculated, crazy. And my last one. So a lot of people know J.K. Simmons as
J. Jonah Jameson.
yep, from the Spider-Man movies, all that fun stuff. I remember this
Schillinger?
motherfucker
Oh fuck!
playing Vernon Schillinger in Oz.
Schillinger, asshole.
Yep. Yep. He played a neo-Nazi in the TV show Oz, and he
horrible.
was the worst, but in a way like you can't stop watching. Like he played the ultimate neo-Nazi asshole in this prison.
Yeah, and the thing was, like,
Episode 1.
Yeah.
when old boy kills his wife or whatever, and he kind of comes in there and he pretends like he's his friend.
Yep.
And then he just starts like fucking raping him.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Didn't he like
And tattooing him with a pen?
tattoo him with the
Jeez.
fucking pen, the
With
damn
a lighter and a
swastika.
pen?
Put a swastika on his
Yes.
ass.
Yeah.
on his ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was like showed everybody that he was his
Claimed.
bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So watch Oz, and
Yikes.
if you never watched Oz, watch it. I mean, it's fucking insane.
eye-opening.
It's eye-opening. And you, this was a little fun fact. I had a trivia too. This was HBO's first hour-long drama.
Wow.
And it was
Yeah.
a doozy.
Watch
Yeah.
Oz before you commit a felony.
Yeah, that shit was fucking insane. So most terrifying and craziest for March Madness. Again, big thank you to our sponsor, Andrew Newman, attorney at law. Make sure you check him out. AttorneyNewman.com is the website. You never know when you're going to need a lawyer, but when you need one, I'm telling you, hit him up. All your criminal, civil, and traffic court issues. Of course, a big thank you to Zibster for hooking up our fantastic website, which is popculturepodcast.com. Check us out. Courtney's going to be taking over the cosplay page for us. So she is the conscious cosplayer.
Thanks. I'm excited.
And barring any coronavirus issues, she should be going to San Diego Comic-Con. So that's going to be the big thing is if they're going to cancel it or not. Hopefully they don't cancel it, but we'll see.
You might want to
Yeah.
incorporate some masks in your cosplay.
Yeah.
All masks.
So I was I'm gonna do like a
Melina.
hazmat version of May from Overwatch. It'll be great. It'll be perfect.
All hazmat suits, the whole entire Comic-Con. Besides that, make sure you check us out, follow us, subscribe on all the major formats, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, for all your sports and gaming information.
Water cooler at WC Sports Pod.
There you go. And that'll do it. We'll check you out on the next one. Peace.
Yeah! Victory! And anger management? Fuck anger management.